So just making this corner, I realize there is a black smudge and it's moving and my gun is not loaded. Say that again.
14 minutes.
14-minute hiking, carrying all the bait.
Yeah.
15-minute walk, so we got to carry all the bait in each time to get it going. And we still haven't got anything else set up because we're not really sure if there's a bear here or not. Or a workable bear. Nothing came to visit.
No, but something might have come and taken a sniff, right?
Maybe. I think a bear would do more than a sniff, but
you would expect so, yeah.
We'll find out. I think they will eat rotten stuff, but I don't think they prefer to eat rotten stuff. So this is leftover meats and things, and ew, gross.
I touched the fish slime.
Some raspberries, strawberries that went bad.
I'd eat that.
Smelling good already. Apple from my tree.
Yeah.
An onion. I don't really smell this, so I'm not surprised if a bear hasn't found it yet. We haven't checked yet, but yeah, if it rains again, it's gonna start to go. It's an old camera. I don't use this anymore. They don't work that well. I'm not gonna say the brand of it or anything, but I'm going to tell you not to buy this brand. But I put it out here in the woods because if it gets stolen, it gets stolen. Because we are in a place where it might get stolen. All right, there you go, spy point. Well, that fish is starting to smell, so I think more confident now. Put some holes in there, and the flies are going to get on it. And if it rains, it's going to smell real good, real bad. Is that 10 square?
It's 10 square. That high up, eh?
Yeah.
You're gonna make it hard for these bears. And pull food out.
It's only a prototype, so we'll see if it works.
Yeah. The cutting corners?
Yep. Not exactly.
That makes it sound like we're taking the easy way out.
It can work. It might work. Maybe it's gonna be too sharp. It's just gonna drive the bear nuts, right?
Or a raccoon's gonna force itself in and then it won't be able to get out.
Well, that's okay. This is bear food. So Jeremy capitulated. We got the barrel now. We're committed. Pot committed now.
Hopefully there's a bear.
Maybe the bear came yesterday. I think if we keep at it, eventually something's gonna show up.
Yeah, big family raccoons.
Well, it's something to eat anyway. We'll get the bait set up and cut some trees, and then so the next thing to do is wait for a bear, and then when the bear comes, then we'll put the tree stand up. And Jeremy said he can come bait every couple of days, 2-3 days.
Yeah, I should be able to get some old pastries and things, so.
Yeah, again, everything looks undisturbed, so I'd be surprised if there's anything on the camera. We want to set up over, well, we're not sure exactly. We want to pick our tree. The only problem with that one is there's going to be lots of brush here that we're going to have to clear out. Oh, I guess it could be below the hump too, right?
Yeah,
depending on perspective.
I thought that tree, then we just have to cut out these two little
These
guys,
two.
and it exposes that tree pretty well.
Okay. Timber.
Right on top of all of our stuff.
Yep.
Lift it and pull it back, and then that'll help it to fall.
Yeah.
It's harder to budge than I thought.
Yep.
Now it's in the sight line.
Okay, here it goes. Now it's not in the sight line. So he has
feet off the ground.
kind of reach up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. We can always lower it if you don't like it. Or raise it also if you don't like it. That looks good.
Oh, now I have to stick my arm in your trap.
I'm going to open it for you. I can do one side. You got it?
Okay.
Oh!
Who made this way?
This part of the idea was yours.
Oh! Should have pre-drilled it.
And then you shoot him, right? When his hand is stuck.
Yeah.
Well, that is a good trap. I'm really stuck. My hand's really
I
stuck.
might want to cut those off.
Right. So when the bear, like if you put it all over the edge, when the bear comes, he sticks his hand there and then he walks away and he draws all the other bears in because he's got like peanut butter fingers. Oh, dude, this smells awesome now. Dude, I brought marshmallows too.
Oh, yeah.
Those smell like crazy. They smell for a long distance. You don't have the blessing of smell, so you don't know. But they smell. I'm not a bear baiting expert, by the way. This is the juice though. Look at this. Look at that, Jerry.
Oh, look at all that meat.
I don't know how much of this is going in there and how much of this is going around. Bacon fat on the tree. It's gonna show you what kind of mess we made. Look at this mess. Then you step in it, and when you walk out, you bring that scent with you. My banana peel has some appeal. Ha 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 ha. 19, 20, 21, 22. 22. That's a good distance. 22 yards. Perfect pot shot for a bow. Well, let me tell you guys, it's been a long journey to try to get this bear bait going, but it was a challenge you wanted to take. We did it all on foot. I know you guys are gonna have mixed feelings about bear baiting, but let me tell you, we put on about 30 kilometers worth of walking with heavy stuff to get this bear bait going. And of course, you guys are probably interested in how this bear is gonna react to the bait and how we did it. Normally, as said, we do just a small 10-inch square, and the bear can just grab whatever it wants. But we raised it up for a couple of reasons. We wanted it so that the bear would be in a good position when we come to the shot. That front arm will be out of the way, exposing the vitals, and you're not going to be into bone. Now, Jeremy was concerned about the flaps and how annoyed the bear would be. I'd say, from looking at this footage, the bear is more annoyed by the fact that the bait is off the ground. You can see a couple of times where it tries to pull it down. And the cub is obviously disinterested because it can't actually reach the bait. You can see it wrenching on the flaps and trying to pull it out of the way. And the camera didn't get the first impressions. You could see that the stink bait's down on the ground, so we did miss a few impressions, but that's how this camera happens to go. And the bear, over the course of the day, comes and visits a few more times, so the bear now knows where the food is and won't forget. So the trick now is just to keep it going, keep the bear interested. And like I said, this was a ton of work, and we wanted to do it on foot. We got exercise of walking in, and if we were hunting this bear in this forest, we never would have seen it because it's super dense. So this is really the only way we could hunt bears in northern Ontario. Otherwise, you're just never going to see them. And habitually, the bears are nocturnal, or at least crepuscular, so you're only going to see them in low light. And like I said, not in this dense forest. Baiting is really the only way to go. I want to add too that bear baiting is legal where I am and also highly ethical. Reason being because the bear has a choice to go to the bear bait or not, and just like a fish has the decision if it's going to take the bait or not. So this gives us the opportunity to decide which bears we want to hunt and have them out in daylight. Otherwise, like I said, they're completely nocturnal and the population is going to get way too out of hand. So now that we had a bear coming in, I wanted to get right on it because I've done some reading and it said that, you know, bears typically will stay on the bait for about 10 days, and then after that, it's hard to keep them. They'll start to wander around. It's really hard to keep a bear around for 30 days. So I got my 270 Browning all sighted in. The reason is because the shot was only about 22 yards, and I'm pretty sure I sighted my gun in for like over 50 to 75 yards. So I wanted to make sure that it was how it was behaving at a short range, especially with the scope. I sighted in, aimed right dead center, and the Tacticam gives me a good replay to find out that I squeezed off a good shot, and I found out it was about 3 or 4 inches low at 20 yards, which makes sense because the scope is mounted 3 inches high and the bullet trajectory is still rising on the way to the target. So naturally, I wanted to make sure that I had a decent grouping, took another shot. And meanwhile, while I'm doing all this, Jeremy is continuing to keep the bait active, and so that obviously the bear has food to come into. And the second shot was also about the same, and so this time on the third shot I decided to aim 3 inches high to kind of get my mind wrapped around where I should aim when I shoot at a bear at a short range. And turns out I was maybe about 1 inch high, which means that I had to aim about 2 inches high of where I wanted to be spot on. So big thanks to Jeremy and also to Natchez, the sponsor for this video, because I was actually able to order a tree stand, treesteps, have them delivered out to Jeremy, who lives near the bears. So he was a facilitator for this hunt, obviously with the intention of sharing the spoils of the meat. So I sent him out with the equipment, and he was to set up at least the steps and then leave the tree stand near the base of the tree so that when I came in to hunt the first day, I could just put it up in the tree and go.
Stands are from Natchez. This is a sponsor of the Wooded Beardsman's channel. The Boss XL. There are some steps. So these two items are light enough that you could definitely carry them in. The stand itself weighs 23 pounds, and these guys weigh 0.6 pounds per 30 inches, so almost a meter. So with a good backpack, you can carry them in. This stand is a 1 kilometer walk normally for me. And so I decided to bring these out with the ATV, make things a little bit easier. And I also wanted to test the trail because when we do get a bear, obviously I don't want to carry it out a kilometer. I just wanted to make sure that I can get the ATV in here for easy retrieval.
So I don't want to talk too much about how this morning played out. I want to play it out more organically, how I experienced it that morning. But suffice it to say, I didn't have all the intel that you guys have. We didn't have a lot of trail camera data. We didn't know when that bear was coming in. And so I figured I was coming in about, just a little bit afternoon. I was going to set up the tree stand. If I did it quietly enough, I was going to hunt there till night. Well, it turns out, as you could see from the trail camera, this is playing at exact same rate that it's happening in real time. So I've got real-time action footage from the camera showing that there is actually a bear there. So I'm walking in, and I should tell you that my gun is not loaded because, as I said, my plan was to pick up the tree stand that Jeremy had cached in the forest for me and set it up. So go in it with that in mind. So just making this corner, I realize there is a black smudge and it's moving and it's at the bait and my gun is not loaded. So now I have a decision to make. Either I'm going to back out or I'm going to try to hunt this bear. So the question is, what would you guys do besides do a dookie in your drawers? Mind you, I wasn't actually scared, but I think you guys would be if you saw this. So my choice naturally follows. If I'm there, I'm hunting. And yes, I learned from my mistake. Next time, 100% of the time, when I go into the bear stand, I will be loaded and I will be ready to hunt. So in this case, I had no choice but to rummage through my pack to try to find my ammo. So I had successfully snuck up on this bear. So find out now if I was actually able to take it. Be mindful now, I have to dig through my pack to find my ammo and continue the rest of the stalk. So obviously by this point in time you realize that I scared the bear off. Probably no major damage caused. However, again, I'm facing the dilemma. Did I ruin the bait? Am I still setting up this tree stand? or am I going to back out for the day and set up another bait altogether? I don't know what I'm doing. My head is kind of spinning at this point in time, but I'm there to set up the tree stand anyway. That was my plan, so I'm going to carry it out. Little did I know, this tree stand, well-built tree stand, so thanks Natchez for sending it, super light, super well built, was not put together. It came in a box, and I wrongfully assumed that it would just be able to pull it out. So Jeremy knew this, but he didn't tell me this. So I'm sure he didn't plan on me sitting at the base of the tree to put the tree stand together to hunt it the same day, but that's how it turned out. So here I am in the forest floor, and I know that there's a bear nearby, let's say within a couple of 100 meters, because I just scared it away. So I'm terrified now, not because I'm in the forest with bears. You're always in the forest with bears, but that my mind is focused on reading directions on how to put a tree stand together in the forest with bears all around me. So this is an interesting experience. This is probably the most terrified I've ever been of bears, but mostly it's because I'm not making noise. I'm trying not to be super loud while I'm putting the tree stand together, because I don't want to bust the bears to smithereens out of this location, and I'm concentrating with my head down. And then, so as it turns out, after I get the tree stand all put together, well, mostly put together, at least the parts where they need to be, I realized that you actually need a wrench or 2 wrenches to be able to put this tree stands together. So now I'm wondering what the heck I'm doing with my life, because I'm setting up a tree stand that I can't set up because the bolts aren't tightened. So anyway, I get the last tree step up on the tree, so at least I can climb up there. And then I have to go all the way back to Jeremy's house to grab and borrow a wrench, and all the way back. So that's like another hour, 2 kilometers of walking all the way there, all the way back. So now I'm wondering, what the heck am I really doing with my life? Because I've already put on 4 kilometers with the pack, carried all my stuff in and out. And so now at least I'm going to complete the job. I've pretty much busted out the stand by the end of the day, right? Coming in, coming out. And then I got to use the saw, because once I get up there, I realize that not everything's perfect. I want to show you like a really cool way to set up a tree stand if you're by yourself, using these tree steps. So if you notice, a tree step is aimed upwards. It's like backwards, like normally you put your foot on it the other way. But I use it as a way to hoist up the tree stand. So this is a really good way to do it on your own. And then I put a loop at the top of the tree stand connected to the rope. So once I get it up, I can actually fling it over top of the tree step, and then it's going to go all the way down to the bottom. And it's important to do it this way because obviously you want to be able to unscrew that tree step when you're done, or otherwise it's going to be pushed into your back. And then once you've got it, you want the tree step to be facing the direction you want the tree stand to be. So I've picked out a quartering toward shot where I can be on a slight angle toward it. And then once I got that done, I can tighten the strap and then remove the tree step. And then after that, I just got to make a whole pile of noises, getting rid of the branches. And I've got a tree next to me, which is really handy because I'm able to actually cut the branches off a little bit long, so I have room for packs and things like that. And then I use the same technique for the camera arm. So it was quite a bit of work that goes into filming this for you guys. I know you appreciate it if you've watched it this long, and I do appreciate it if you watch it the whole entire way. But getting all the cameras set up. And then, of course, I realized once I get all this done that my shoot window is no good anymore. So I cut a tree here, and I try to knock the branches down. And guess what? Well, the branches aren't cooperating with me, and they're not breaking. So then I got to realize, now I've got to make some noise next time I hunt, because I've got to cut these branches off to be able to have a shooting window. So I make a plan that probably I'm not going to hunt the rest of today. I'll let things settle down. Anyway, no harm, no foul. The hunt shall go on. I replaced the camera with one that can take better pictures and get some better intel. And here we are. So as I said, I wasn't really sure if the bears were going to come in after dark or the end of the day or whatever. I would have been sitting a long time, tell you the truth, because they didn't actually come in till 7:40 p.m. This is still shooting light. The light in the background is actually the other Browning trail camera. It's not an actual flashlight or anything like that. But I wanted to show you, like, these bears are pretty hungry, and they know that there's food there. And I want to bring you through a little bit of a sequence here. Obviously, the bears doing their thing, but I'm going to quiet down in a second or two because I want to show you an interesting interaction I got between the cub and the mother. And the cub gets a little bit frustrated, but not able to get the food. And the mother has an interesting reaction. So just listen. So the cub is obviously really frustrated here and wants the mother to help. And the mother is taking a wait and see approach. And the cub just takes it out on its mom. It's like, come on, give me some dang food. And then, of course, the cub makes use of the bottom here. Licking the holes from the bottom. So now you know what a cub sounds like if you ever get woken up by a really weird sound in the middle of the night. It could just be a cub crying its mom for help. And this is the reverse angle. Again, it's kind of interesting just how it plays out. Like the mom comes back, wanders around, are you fine? Like, what's the problem? And then wanders away and goes to look for alternate food. And I have a sequence montage I'll show you after where there's just a ton of activity, a flurry of activity over the night. And it's interesting the times that the bears come in to eat and the spacing. So obviously they're off doing other things and they're not just relying completely on the barrel for their food. They're going to visit other food sources, natural food sources like the pin cherries, the choke cherries are in right now, the raspberries, blueberries if they're lucky enough, and all kinds of other wild edibles, insects, and plants and everything they can find right now. They're just packing on for the winter. So without this bait being set up here, we wouldn't see these types of interactions. We wouldn't be able to learn about bear behavior like we are right now. And here, watch this. This is a cool angle as well. And you get the audio really good here too. And the mom's just like, what's up, dude? I'm out of here. You're going to be like that. You're going to be a bit of a goofball. I've had enough. Get this food on your own. You can manage. And here's the full sequence. Obviously, it starts at about 7:45 p.m. right at sunset and goes on for at least a few hours through till 9 p.m. or so. So the bears are really getting their fill. And then they come back about 5 hours later, about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and they do another feed. So near as I can tell, they're kind of approaching this bait every 5 hours on a bit of a cycle. So they're going off to digest and then they're coming back. And I'll show you the same thing in the reverse angle here as well. This camera is a little bit clearer because it didn't have condensation on. Both have produced really good clear images, the Brownings do. It's just this one, because I had cleaned it, it wasn't as frosted. But you can see, same thing, flurry of activity up and down. And I'll tell you, by the end, this cub really figures out how to get food out of the barrel. Actually is able to crawl up from the front and more or less get inside the barrel and get its food. So at first, the bears weren't able to get the food all the way to the back. And by the end, the cub was able to. This is obviously the next day and coming out and getting ready for a hunt. And I obviously want to do everything as quietly as possible. So I'm kind of sneaking in here. And this is my normal stand routine. I do this for deer hunting as well. Just get everything situated, set up the camera on the camera arm so that way you guys get a pretty good shot of the front of the barrel. And then, of course, from yesterday setting up the stand, I realized that I needed to prune a lot of the branches that were blocking my view. And so I had to bring the pole saw in. Now, these disturbances would not be 100% natural in the area, but natural as far as what the bears would be accustomed to, us coming in to bait and then doing a little bit of noise and maintenance every time we were there would be pretty normal for the bears to have experienced. So I got a chance to watch the sow and cub for about 45 minutes. Most of the time, the cub was on the bait, but the sow was actually pacing back and forth in the woods doing her own thing. She never committed to the bait because I think she knew something was up. She knew that I was around. And then she alerted the cub took off. And then sometime later, another sow and cub show up, and the cub goes immediately into the bait, and then the sow does her own thing. And so I got a chance to watch a second pair. And this one was kind of interesting too. Got a pretty good feed. So my guess is that we're getting all the camera activity was not just the same sow and cub. It's obviously a pair, and so likely sisters, and they tolerated each other. But I wasn't interested in shooting a sow. I really wanted to shoot a lone boar if I could, or a lone sow, a dry sow, regardless, a bear that was by itself. So I didn't want to shoot any bear unless it committed to the bait. And so that was kind of my rule. And I did want to get a good clean shot. And you can see this is a good mixture here with the trail cam footage of, what the sow is doing while the cub is on the bait. And I actually was able to sequence this more or less as it occurred. And then I did get my sights on the sow a few times, but I elected not to shoot. Any of these shots are doable shots, even with the rifle. And then after some time, this sow alerts the cub to take off. And, presumably there's another bigger bear in the picture. And so now watch what happens. A lone bear coming into the bait.
normally get buck fever. I can't even hold the camera straight. It's cold plus adrenaline. That will make me shake every time. I just reviewed the footage. I think I got a good shot. Bear went that way, and then it paused for a little bit, and then I think I heard something collapse. I don't know how many bears were there. There was at least 2. There was a couple of bears going back and forth. There was a bear going back and forth, and it would never come in. And then finally it called the cub. The cub took off. And then 2 more bears took off out in front of me. And I thought the hunt was over, and I was just about to pack it. And I'm gonna get out now because it's a weird sound. I'm freaking out now how many bears are back in here. That I don't really want to be getting out of this tree with all the bears around here. And I gotta go. Oh, I can't stop shaking. I gotta go get Jeremy. He's gonna help me search. It's a wolf. Wolf calling over here now. I don't know if you guys are... Turn the Tacticam off. Okay, I don't want to be out here past dark by myself. So I'm gonna pack everything up and go grab Jeremy. I'll see you guys in a bit. Yo. Yeah, come here. Quick, it's gonna roll. I'm not gonna say 100% that there's a bear down on the ground, but come look.
Here I am with no shirt on.
Yeah, it's authentic.
Yep. I'd say so.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna go.
Okay.
We're gonna go pick up a bear.
I was doubting myself, and I'm like, I'd just watch it 3 times. I'm like, because it was all about.
Oh yeah. Well, let me suit up. Let's get out there before it's too dark.
It's definitely hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Oh, what'd you put in today? 10 hours sitting up there?
yeah, 20 hours in 2 days. A lot of hours. So, paid off. I swear there was 4 bears there, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was a circus. I was like ready to pack in. I'm like, they're not gonna come back. They spooked them.
Yeah.
And then they came back out. All right, a couple of pumpkins. And then we're gonna head back to the scene of the crime. Once we get this trailer going, we'll rock over and Jerry can share some of his knowledge. You see it still? So, this is where it was when I shot it. That's lung blood.
That's lung blood.
Yeah, lung blood for sure. Yep. Lots right here. Oh yeah, right here, Jer, on your left side.
Oh, look it up here.
Yeah.
There's lots of blood on this.
I'm on a bear trail here, but I don't see anything. Oh, right in here, lots. Right here, Jer. Right here, some. And where my beam is there too.
Big.
Oh, look at that one.
That's your bear? No, that's a log.
Lots here now. Oh, right there. Hey, bear. I was all right, eh?
Yeah.
Done deal. Hey, bear, wake up. Not waking up, bear. But we were talking about where placement should be, and you thought maybe more close to the shoulder, and then I said I did a bunch of research.
Yeah.
And I did center body, center.
Yeah.
And that's what we were told. That's what I was told anyway. And then you avoid the muscle, the meat, and if you're shooting an arrow, you're not getting it into the shoulder.
bones.
You get sketchy. You get sketchy. You think this is where they were hanging out? Maybe.
I don't know.
It's pretty thick.
Close.
It's pretty thick in here.
Drag it by the front legs.
Oh, I forget how awkward these are. It's not like a deer. Where's the antlers?
Yeah.
It's got to be at least me, and I'm 140. So let's say 170, 180.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you have to kind of stop and make sure it's not caught on something.
Yeah.
The old bull moves stuff because it's actually easier to move it than to go over it.
Yeah.
How's that fur holding up? It's the trail's smooth. It's my pre-smoothed trail.
Oh, you rolled it earlier.
It's a little bird of work, eh? I smell dookie.
Yeah.
You want some moss? Or you got some moss?
I got some moss.
How's it going? You still in the dookie? So, job done?
Yeah, just about.
What did you save? The heart and some caul fat?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do with 2 people. The dragging, the skinning. We're going to bring it back to Jer's parents' place, and we're going to hang it up. And then we're going to have a piece of meat that I get to eat. Okay, good. All right, guys, we're well on our way to getting some meat. We're just using Jeremy's family farm. So got the bear mostly done up. Wear rubber gloves any time you handle bear meat, or especially because obviously they eat whatever they can find, so they can carry parasites. So I'll pick these up at Princess Auto. They're just regular nitrile, I think that's what they're called, right, Jer?
Yep, nitrile gloves.
Nitrile gloves, nice and fat, and we are in the sun, but it's cool enough we can handle it. We're just going to quarter it up, and then we're going to move it off into the shed here in the back in the shade. And Jeremy's going to take a majority of it. I'm going to grab a couple bags maybe, and I want to do some like burgers or something like that. Maybe a steak I'll throw on.
What's my recipe?
Yeah, what did you make this with?
Bear meat.
And what
So
else?
this is bear meat that has bones in it, and
Did you put ketchup on the top there?
I did.
What?
I didn't have barbecue sauce, so what I did is I boiled the ribs for a couple hours, so they're already cooked, and then we're going to brown them. I put ketchup, but do you know what else I put in there? I'll give you one guess.
Wadobo.
No, I didn't. I'm almost out, and I can't get it in Canada.
That's brutal.
Maybe you guys can empathize with me and the inability to get Wadobo outside of the United States.
I know I can. No, I don't know what you put on there. Salt and pepper.
Nope. Well, some salt. Maple syrup.
Oh, beauty.
Yeah.
Maple syrup and ketchup.
Yeah.
Totally doing the bear justice.
Yeah.
Halfway.
The bear loves ketchup and maple syrup. So
That's it, eh? Just boiled and braised.
yeah, we just want to like brown it up, bubble it up a bit. How do you like your bear ribs?
That was perfect. Good job.
Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm gonna give it like a 10. It's really good. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now.
Your beard's giving it a 10.5. It's like, oh, it's so fatty and moisturizing. Yeah, I'll give it 3.7. It's no chicken wing.
Oh, jeez. Terrible.
It's good.
It's just.
I love bear meat.
Yeah, you
I
like-
ate 3 bears in the big wild year. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like meat.
You
I don't like
meat?
bear meat. It's better than venison.
That's really good. So, guys, go bear hunting. Forget moose hunting, right? No moose hunting, no calf
That's
hunting.
better than moose, in
It's-
my opinion.
It's better than moose.
in my opinion. Yeah.
No, it's a 10. This
Yeah.
is a 10.
Wow.
I gotta put this camera down. You guys check out Natchez, sponsor for the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.